Hey friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. I am Gina and I am here with you today to go over a really cool baby carrier. So what I've got here in my hands is the Wildbird Aerial Carrier. So this is a brand that is online only. So it's a direct-to-consumer brand, and it's going to offer both ring slings and structured carriers. So what I'm reviewing today is going to be their structured carrier. It's called the Aerial Carrier. The one I have here in this box retails for, I believe, $178. It's made out of linen, and yeah. Let's delve right into it. So I will start this video by saying I generally avoid talking about carriers at all costs. The reason being is that they are quite intimidating. They're usually very big, bulky. They'll do a million things for my customers, but explaining how to use them and then having the customer be able to mimic or do what you show them is always a challenge, and it's very, very time consuming. So, candidly, I generally avoid dealing with carriers at all costs. Now, I love baby wearing, so that's kind of the messed up part, right? I think baby wearing is awesome. It's useful for attachment parenting, but beyond that, there are a lot of times and places where it's just more suitable to be able to wear a child on your body versus being able to have a stroller. So I'm definitely a fan of baby wearing. I found that I would do baby wearing much more with my sister's kids when they were older. So like ages 1 to probably 3 or 4 were more useful for me with baby wearing than with an infant. And the reason being is that older kids get into more stuff. They're big, they're squirrely. There are definitely some times when it just makes sense to be able to have them on you. And so I like a carrier that can accommodate from a very little baby into the heavier weight range. So Wildbird is going to do all of that, and it's actually going to do it really well. So my friend sent this to me and asked me to review it. I literally had no idea what I was looking at. So I am prefacing this by saying that I got all of the information directly from the brand's website and also from speaking to their customer service via chat online. So I do appreciate them getting back to me. It was very helpful. First thing I noticed when I got it is that it came in this box. The box is actually pretty small. I was shocked. A lot of the other carriers I carry will come in a box probably like twice the size. And then the next thing that was really cool when I opened it, now I repackaged it and put it back in here, was that there were no plastic pieces that came with it. So it's not wrapped in an additional piece of plastic, and then this isn't wrapped in plastic. It's very, very green. Conscious, which I thought was pretty sweet, just even from the packaging. So when I took out the instruction book, I leafed through it, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to try and zoom in here just to show if you can see. The images for it are incredibly clear, so that's a really nice feature. And then it's so clear and so easy that I literally thought that this was a quick start guide and not the actual instruction book. So it was shocking to me that this is the real instruction book and it's not the quick start guide. So you have the instructions on how to wear it. You've got the information on the correct leg placement. So they want you to do the M position, shows a picture of too narrow or too wide for the seat. They also show the head flap going up or down depending on the age of the baby, but it is incredibly clear. So I have to give them props for that. It's nice to see a book, and then they demonstrate how to wear it with the instructions as well. So yeah. Book is super easy to read. It's basically a quick start guide, which I thought was wild. I thought there would be a bigger book, but this is it. So that was pretty sweet. One thing I will say I noticed was on the back of my book, it said designed in USA and made in Vietnam. And then on the box, it says made in the Philippines. But then on the website, it said that all of the linen was made in Europe. So I got really extremely confused. I did a little bit of digging. And so 85% of all linen, which is what the carrier is made out of, linen. 85% of all of the world's linen is harvested in Europe and grown in Europe. So the linen for it actually does come from Europe, which is really cool. And then it's sent to the Philippines for finishing, which is pretty sweet. The carrier itself, as you can see, is very simple. So we've got a big ring in the center and then 2 shoulder straps here. with male and female buckle clip on the shoulder strap. So pretty straightforward. The thing that I thought was most excellent about this one, so getting back to the linen point. My sister's baby carriers were always so hot, and she would buy organic cotton and I would put them on and I could never understand why they were so hot. Now there's a lot of brands that'll make them with mesh. The cool thing about linen is that linen is like the most breathable material. On top of that, getting back to sort of the green component of there being no plastic on it, linen is also the most sustainable fabric choice that you can make for any type of product that's going to involve fabric. So that is sweet. The way that they mill it, the fibers are longer so more air can pass through. That's going to be the reason why linen is a really awesome choice to help keep the baby cool but still look very, very chic. It's definitely, you know, very Instagram looking. I would probably pick black, but this is gorgeous. They do offer other fabric designs that will have woven patterns on them. Those are going to be more expensive, but they are totally gorgeous. This color, I believe, is called Desert Lark. Yeah, Desert Lark. So I am going to put mine on. And again, another fun feature about this is that if you look at the carrier, it has a tab on the interior that reads this side up, wear on your natural waist. So if you give this to someone and you run away and you haven't given them the instruction booklet, it is pretty clear kind of how to at least start it. So we're going to start with this side up on our natural waist, and I'm going to make sure that nothing is twisted or crooked. The belt is going to come around behind my back, and then there is a buckle with a plastic safety clasp here. We're just going to pass the buckle through the safety. I'm going to pull this back up to my natural waist. I'm going to pull this strap. I'm going to hook it up back here, work on my posture, and buckle it in. Now, one thing you might notice is that this tail is very short. That's deliberate. I've already rolled it up and taken the elastic that came with it and looped it around the edge there. So that's going to mean I don't have long pieces flapping all around, which is really nice to help keep it nice and neat. And if you have other kids, you don't want them tugging on you. So definitely a nice feature. At this point, as you can see, it sort of comes up like the front of a pair of overalls, but the straps are already attached. So I'm going to take the right-hand side, and I'm going to pull it over my right arm, come back around, and I should be able to take this strap and pull it down. I'm pulling it down just to make sure that the padding is hitting my shoulder nicely. I'm going to bring the buckle up to the front and connect it with its connection. Now, this is a pretty big opening. I'm going to take my baby. This baby's a really good baby because she never cries. She comes up on my shoulder pretty high, and then the intention is to have her sit on the interior of the carrier and to make sure that that leg gets underneath the strap there. Now that she's in, I am going to tighten it slightly. I'm not going to go hog wild, but I'm definitely going to get up under the fanny and get her nice and tight in there initially. And then now I'm going to take this same, the other strap, the left-hand side, but the same piece that we were familiar with from before, and we're going to strap this. So, found it, pulling on it just to make sure it's attached nicely. Getting the padding correct. This will hook up. I'm going to loosen it. There we go. Make sure it goes over baby's leg. Hook it up. It'll click. And now we have baby sitting in here. I'm able to take both straps at this point and pull. And the idea would be we'd want the fanny for the baby to sit low and then the legs coming up in sort of like an M shape. So that's sort of what you're looking for. The other thing to notice is going to be, there, I just got that adjusted. Now it's way comfortable. That's awesome. The headpiece comes up for sleeping Will fold outward for children over 8 weeks, so this doll is definitely over 8 weeks, but if she were under 8 weeks, I would tuck it inside to give more head and neck support. That being said, you want to make sure that they're always breathing when you're wearing them, and then they would need to be like close enough for you to kiss them. That's sort of the idea, but again, you're going to want to make sure that they have a clear airway, and that's true with all carriers. So if you look at the back of the carrier, and a hood is probably not the best thing, but I'll put it up so you can see. If you notice on the back of the carrier, there's crisscrossed between my arms. Typically, when you're doing a carrier, you have to buckle something in between, like blind, which is very, very irritating. The whole thing about this one that makes it special is the simplicity. So we've got simplicity for putting it on, but also when we're adjusting this seat as the baby gets larger. There's a set of 5 snaps, and you simply move a tab over and snap to whatever the correct positioning is for your child's age and weight. And guess what? That's all in the book. So it'll start at its smallest, you'll move it out after about 3 months, then at 6 months, and then from 6 to 12, and 12 to 18. But the carrier holds 7 pounds up to 45 pounds. So it should work for the entire time that you would want to use it, which is a really nice option. And the other thing about it is that for older children that can somewhat be useful and hang on to you, you can hook it up with a backpack style carry. So we've got a front carry where they're looking at you close, huggable, they can look around. And then you can also, for bigger kids, put them on your back where they would have a greater range of vision as well. So my overall thoughts on this carrier is that it's incredibly comfortable. It's very cool to wear. It's super easy to do. I really don't think anybody would feel intimidated trying to figure out how to use it. And it does, I believe, come in a variety of styles, sizes, and colors and price points. So depending on what you're looking for, it's a really nice option. And again, it's a pretty green product. A lot of brands go out of their way to greenwash their whole story. I would argue that they're actually incredibly green. I think that that's great. And typically I hate direct-to-consumer brands, but I would totally buy this. Just super simple. So if you're looking for a structured carrier, small enough to go in a diaper bag, washable, very eco-friendly, you know that it's kind of clean and green from start to finish, I do think that the Wildbird aerial carrier, tongue twister, might be a really nice option for you. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. Please feel free to hit like or subscribe. If you want to share this video with anyone that might find it useful, I encourage you to do so. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you in our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day.